If you listen to and watch the media coverage on the transgender issue with our young people, you'd think that if you believe that a boy is born a boy and a girl is born a girl, and that to oppose any indoctrination that you can choose your own sex, then somehow you're completely out of touch with reality. Well, maybe it's time to think again. You're actually with a strong majority. Let's check it out. So, with increasing pressure on schools, including religious schools, and we'll come back to that issue a little bit more this week, with the pressure to adopt the religion of self identification and hypersexuality, we thought we'd check what New Zealanders really think. And so we commissioned an independent research company to do a poll of 1,200 New Zealanders. It was done by Courier Market Research. And respondents were asked a number of questions around gender ideology at school. And some of the answers are very interesting. Let's check it out. The first question was, do you believe that primary age children should be taught that they can choose their gender and that it can be changed through hormone treatment and surgery if they want it to be? Well, just 15% said yes, it's okay to teach that stuff. 69%, more than 2 and 3, opposed it, with 16% unsure or refusing to say. They were then asked this question. The Ministry of Education tells teachers that schools do not have to disclose to parents that their child is identifying as a transgender in class and using a different name and preferred pronouns. Yes, that is the Ministry of Education policy, shockingly. Would you support a law requiring schools to notify parents if their child is identifying as transgender in class? A majority, 55%, would support a parental notification type law, only 29% opposed. A further 16% were unsure or refused to say. Now, that's the same 16% as the first question, so maybe they just need the issue explained to them, and maybe our resources can help you do that. And then the third question was, some people have proposed banning puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and physical sex change surgeries for children under the age of 18 who identify as transgender. Would you support or oppose this kind of ban? A bit more split here, but 42% more in support. 42% support, 36% opposition, with a further 22% unsure or refusing to say. And males were more supportive. Females were more opposed to a ban, but support was stronger than opposition overall in all the age groupings. And not surprisingly, support for such a ban went up to a half, 49% of parents who had children under 16 years of age. They've got a vested interest in this issue. You know, many young people today are wondering if they were born in the wrong body, and transgender activists are pushing a message that insists the body should be remade to conform with feelings. And as such, the transgender trend spreads a confusing and it's a stressful message to our kids, including those who are struggling to accept their biological sex. In the new curriculum for primary age children, and this is what you're seeing on the left here, is for 7 years old and up, primary age students are being indoctrinated with the confusing and dangerous message that changing sex is as easy as changing clothes. Girls are discovering that biological boys have free access to their changing rooms and sports teams. And the curriculum states that parents are able to be kept in the dark when their child has decided to identify as transgender during the school day. But this polling reveals that the majority of New Zealanders are becoming increasingly uncomfortable with this curriculum and agenda in schools. You know, a better and more compassionate and honest approach would be for schools to create a climate that welcomes every child, for making room for a greater diversity of personalities without negating the importance of biological sex, and most importantly, respecting the rights, role and responsibility of the parents and wider whānau. And it's also time that the Education and Health Ministries place priority on scientific evidence and sound medical practice rather than bowing to special interest groups pushing a radical agenda. And interestingly enough, medical professionals and groups around the world, including the Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Psychiatrists, are sounding growing concern around the use of puberty blockers to treat young people with gender dysphoria because of the low certainty of the benefits but the significant potential for medical harm. They say much more emphasis needs to be made on the mental issues going on and the comorbid disorders. Parents need to be alert to what is being taught in their local schools. Affirming biology is not bigotry. And we'd encourage you to watch this episode of Family Matters, Expose the Radical Sexuality and Gender Indoctrination in Schools. If you're a parent or a guardian of a young child, this could be one of the most important episodes of Family Matters that you watch. Because what we do is we analyze the relationships and sexuality education guidelines, and we also look at some of the external programs that may be used in your child's school, including Family Planning's disturbing Navigating the Journey program. Most importantly, we'll show you how you can protect your child from this dangerous indoctrination. Watch it today at Family First NZ. Help that 16% who are unsure of this whole issue, because children deserve the biological truth.